Let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Greg Shapiro, and let's queer up drag culture. Tennessee drag ban survives because SCOTUS refuses to hear case. What's next? The U.S. Supreme Court has refused to hear a challenge to Tennessee's controversial drag ban, keeping an appeals court ruling in place. The law, passed in 2023, prohibits adult cabaret entertainment in public spaces or where minors could be present. It defines such performances as adult-oriented and harmful to minors, including acts by topless dancers, strippers, and male or female impersonators. Memphis-based Friends of Georgia's Incorporated sued, arguing the law is vague and unconstitutional. But the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals dismissed the case in July, saying the group lacked standing. Friends of Georgia's condemned the Supreme Court's move, saying, quote, "This ruling does not define us. We do, and we refuse to be silenced. Every attempt to silence us has only made us louder, stronger, and more relentless," end quote. They pledged to continue performing, raising funds for charities, and standing strong against oppression. In a message of solidarity, they told trans individuals, performers, and activists, quote, "Your courage fuels us. Your struggle is our struggle. Every soapbox is sacred, and we will not step off it," end quote. Oh, the inferior court strikes again. The disappointment is real, and it sends a troubling ripple across the country. Please keep performing, continue standing strong against oppression, and please don't be silenced.
You know, I look at this and, you know, on the one hand, you look at this and you say the court's just being terrible as normal. But on the other hand, it's like, you know, when we start trying to make people illegal in so many different ways, it actually is very corrosive for society. Like, yes, it affects us, but it affects more than us. Because if more and more people's lives are not allowed to be legal, then you end up operating outside the law. And you start having people have social movements take on different tones. Mm-hmm. Society starts to unravel. Like, it's not in anyone's interest to do these sorts of laws. I really try to explain to like right-wing critics, like, no, you don't understand. You're causing a country to go in a very dark direction that you're not going to like what you see at the end of the day.
But it also causes, and I agree with what you both are saying, but it also forces us to mature as a community. We have to reach out to our allies. We have to be reticent to our emotions and our decisions and the way we present ourselves. We have to remind people that marriage is not about religion for us. It's about legal rights and taxation and hospitalization and health benefits, and it's the business aspect and not the religious aspect. We have to, as a community, start speaking up, but we have to say the same consistent answers.
Same messaging, consistent messaging, for sure.
And you, of all people with your marketing background, would know that. So, it's about teaching ourselves what to say and stop saying, stop with the marriage, it's how you explain the marriage situation. My marriage is not about religion. My marriage is about finances and inheritance and the right and respectability of insurance.
Right, and hospital visits, there's so much more to it than the religious.
But that's what I'm saying, and this whole issue in Tennessee is forcing us to come in. Mm-hmm. Yes, we have to retreat a little, but we have to start working together as a community and start going, here's the message. Young ones, old ones, everyone in between, pay attention. Mm-hmm. We have to, and politicians especially, this is how we need to present ourselves, because everyone sees this as a cartoon right now.
Yeah, when I think about that, on the marriage equality, I remember I was a kid in Massachusetts. The message was simple: love is love, and it worked. It worked. Yeah. In fact, I used to work for former Massachusetts Governor Val Patrick, who was the first governor. Do you know why he supported marriage equality? Because I asked him once. He's like, I was asked in a town hall, and my old college roommate was like, "Well, you would support my marriage to another man." Of course I'd support that. Yes. He kind of acted, but that common love and humanity.
But that's just one of the layers. I mean, because again, the religious community is using it as man and woman.
Right. With this, to be clear, we're talking about banning drag queens.
Right. I get that. Right. But my point is that this whole ban is forcing us to retreat a little and figure out and work together as a community. I mean, we need our own Project 2025.
Back to the drawing board.
You made a good point about like trying to get more people to support us, because like I think about it in the U.S. how we always try to go with the courts instead of the public, and I'm like, about 5-10 years ago, not exactly known for this very free society known as Cuba. 2/3 of their voters voted to expand queer rights.
Marriage, right?
Marriage and just a whole host of family rights. I'm like, if activists in Cuba can work together to get a 2/3 vote, I think we can win in the U.S. too.
So that's why I'm saying we need to look into the African American community and the Latino community and the Venezuelan community. I mean, we need to reach out.
Yes.
Exactly. And that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.